Right, that's us. We're back for our peril episode today, Callum. It's our 30th.
Yes, 30th, which is apparently the Pearl anniversary, which is news to me.
That's a bit disappointing. We were hoping it would be something like Diamond or Ruby, but peril will do, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and there's only episodes, not years, so
That's true.
we've not really earned it either, so.
I would beg to differ.
Well, I suppose we've earned it in a way, yeah, 30 episodes in, yeah, so it's European week for Scottish football.
It is, yes, yeah. We're feeling very cultured today.
Very cultured, yeah, so you've got the Bayern Munich top on.
Yep. Nicked from your word. This is one of 3 Bayern Munich kits that Callum has.
Yeah, I'm not
It's
too sure
lovely.
why I've got 3 Bayern Munich shirts, but
Is that the Alps? Is that what that means?
I think it is, yeah, but sort of like a cartoon sort of style. So I did see that one, like an end of season sort of sale, and that's something that I had to get.
The badge, like, I don't know. Nah.
Red badge and everything, yeah.
But it's like, it's not just, like, it's a sort of
Yeah.
rubber kind of badge.
The whole shirt's got a bit of an odd material to it, but
No, I really like it's very comfortable.
it's kind of one I wear it to the gym every now and then. It's that kind of nice feel to it. So, yeah, European week. We're gonna be going over some of the sort of pluckiest European games for Scottish football clubs in the history of European football.
Yeah, we're keeping it nice and vague with that title, just so we can get some wins, some draws, some losses in there. But
have we got any wins in there? Maybe one win.
Depends. One win if I touch on it.
Yeah,
Depending on our time. But
okay.
There's been loads. Like, this is kind of inspired by Hibernian's fantastic and also devastating result in Warsaw when they crashed out after a phenomenal performance away from home. It's just kind of an all too common occurrence with Scottish teams. Celtic and Rangers, kind of, they find their way through, but just with the other teams in Scotland, it's more difficult. So, and that's always the exciting one. So there's been some really exciting games in recent times, and a little bit further in the past. So we've picked a few of our favourites, our most memorable ones.
So mute the LinkedIn notifications coming in there. Oh my goodness. Yes, I completely agree. And of course, we've had our European adventure this year as well, off to Oslo.
Whoa.
We've seen Scotland play, so we've had our European scoop this year. But should we just jump into some of these games then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Before that, run the intro.
You're a long way from home. This is Brazil.
James McFadden scores for Scotland. The afternoon belongs to Lewis Vaughan.
Make it 3.
It's 3-0. An absolute classic from Stephen Kingsley. Jubilated Paul McHugh. It had to be him.
So Fraser, because you're sat here wearing that lovely Bayern Munich shirt, the perfect place to start off would be with a Bayern Munich game, and a Bayern Munich are going to come up a couple of times on this list. But a team playing in Europe this year, they'll be kickstarting their campaign next week against Shakhtar Donetsk, I believe.
Yes.
Is Aberdeen FC. So Aberdeen faced off against Bayern Munich. Give us a bit of the backstory about this classic tie.
Well, Aberdeen, obviously, as we know, they've got a storied history in European competition. So they've had more stellar performances than the one I'm about to talk about, like in Gothenburg in '83. However, this game, if you take into consideration the standard of the opposition, maybe the standard of Aberdeen at the time, this game was quite significant in Scottish football. So in 2008, I think it was, just checking, Aberdeen played Bayern in the UEFA Cup round of 32. So they'd had a pretty decent sort of group phase. They'd beaten Dnipro of Ukraine in the qualifying round on away goals. Nice 1-1 aggregate
Away goals, I'm not
victory.
I'm not a fan of away goals. That's something I'm glad to see the back of.
So am I, actually, because I'm in some of the games I've looked at, I'm thinking that's absolutely criminal that teams are going out on away goals. But we'll come to that later. But this particular game, first leg at Pittodrie, Aberdeen versus Bayern Munich, the favourites of the competition. And this was a Bayern Munich squad that had Oliver Kahn, Philip Lahm, Schweinsteiger, Miroslav Klose, Luca Toni, like Hamit Alton top. These are like proper, this is a proper Bayern Munich team. So Aberdeen round of 32, and Bayern Munich came calling to Pittodrie. So it was a phenomenal atmosphere, actually, obviously, for obvious reasons. And 18-year-old Josh Walker put Aberdeen 1-0 up at Portuguese against Bayern Munich with a lovely curled finish from outside the box. Miroslav Klose then responds after a flick on from Luca Toni. Miroslav Klose lashes the ball into the roof of the net. And this is all in the first half. And then Sonia Luko, who everyone will know from his Rangers days and his Aberdeen days.
And his Hull City days.
Of course.
Don't forget that, FA Cup finalist.
Also his sister, Annie.
Yeah.
Killing it in the punditry game as well. So
killing it, yeah. Killing off her own career, yeah.
But also a fantastic footballer. But
not a great pundit.
I quite like her. I think she's been unfairly...
Well, I don't know.
But that's a story for another day. Anyway, back to
Ian Wright, justice for Ian Wright.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Like our punditry's decent enough. But yeah, that comment was out of pocket. But anyway, back to the football. Sonia Luko. Then there was a ball over the top, and Sonia Luko kind of flicks it over the top of the defender, and then sort of bounces up on his chest, takes it on his chest, it volleys it, and it went through. Oliver Kahn hadn't started the game. Instead, it was Michael Rensing, so I just had to check that. So Aberdeen were 2-1 up at Portuguese in the UEFA Cup knockout tie. So, and then not only that, Bayern Munich obviously had their chances, but in the first half, Sonia Luko again flashed the ball wide from 25 yards, could have scored from that. So Aberdeen could have been 3-1 up. And then Bayern Munich obviously got a bit of a fright. So Philip Lam comes on at half-time. They rung the changes. And obviously you bring on a player like that, it's going to make an impact. And Bayern Munich then attacked quite early on in the second half, and a ball was put across, and Alan Maybury, Stirling Albion's manager, we covered him last week, and he answered us. He answered us with a fantastic victory against Spartans. But in those days, he was playing for Aberdeen, and his handball led to a penalty for Bayern Munich. Guess what happened, Callum?
You tell me.
I will tell you. Jamie Langfield got low and saved it. Place went crazy, but Hammett Alton top then obviously latched onto it and poked the ball home. So 2-2 it finished then. And Aberdeen, little Aberdeen, drew 2 each with the UEFA Cup favourites Bayern Munich. Star-studded attack. They brought on Lucas Podolski, Luca Toni, all these players that I mentioned were playing in that game. And they managed to hold on for a draw. So I think we'll end that story there, and Aberdeen went to win the...
What happened next then?
They lost the return leg 5-1.
Right. So what do you think it was about the sort of the Aberdeen air that made these Bayern Munich stars? You've listed them all off. It was a long list, so we've covered those names. What do you think it was about the air, the Portuguese that made them struggle?
It was just, it's the dung heap. Is that what Portuguese means in Old Scots?
It could well be.
So it could be that.
Yeah.
It could be
the cold in the air.
Stench of the dung, the cold, the seagulls maybe squawking.
The seagulls,
they couldn't hear each other. Speaking in German, Italian, whatever they were communicating in it on the pitch. I think anyone would be spooked. They're used to the Bernabeu. They're used to.
It's a different world, yeah.
The Westfalenstadion. They're used to these kind of. But are they used to the dung heap, Portuguese?
I suppose not, yeah.
Obviously they weren't. So they took a little bit of a fright, and Sonia Luko and 18-year-old Josh Walker did very well for Aberdeen, and it continued what was a fantastic campaign. As I said, they'd beaten Dnipro over 2 legs to qualify for the group stage, and then they were in a group. In those times there was 5 teams in each group, 3 teams progressed. And they progressed in a group with PAOK, Atletico Madrid, Lokomotiv Moscow and Copenhagen. And they'd beaten Copenhagen 4-0. So that was essentially what got them through. They went through with 4 points from the 4 matches, a win and a draw. Drew with Lokomotiv Moscow, beat Copenhagen 4-0 and lost only 2-0 away from home against Atletico Madrid. So they'd had a stellar campaign, lost in Greece to PAOK, but across their European campaign, where they played maybe 7 or 8 matches, they only lost 3 games, and those games were away in Greece, Madrid and in Munich. So a very, very decent campaign for Colin Calderwood's men, but unfortunately it ended in the round of 32. You know what team got to what teams played out the final in that particular edition of the UEFA Cup?
I'm going to guess based on the context. Was it Rangers based on the context?
I think so, yeah. I'm just going to check that, yeah. Rangers and Zenit, yeah. So, Bayern Munich didn't quite make the final, didn't win the tournament as they had been predicted to do so, but they made it through to the semi-finals actually, and they got through to semi-finals where they got beaten by Zenit. So that was the 2008 UEFA Cup, 2007-2008 UEFA Cup. So there could have been another Scottish team. Aberdeen were in the other half of the draw. Can you imagine?
That would have been,
if they'd beaten Bayern, they would have just need to get through then to the final, and they'd have played Rangers. That would have been chaos in Manchester.
That's just unvalidated the whole thing, since Rangers have got to the final that year. So sorry, Bayern Munich. Sorry, Aberdeen. Sorry, it doesn't count for anything. I don't know. 2-2, a 2-2 win though, I suppose, on the night, and one to remember. I feel like they probably feel like they're well off that these days. So
well, they've got a chance. They've got big games against the Armenians, Noah, Sparta Prague, Shakhtar Donetsk, AEK Larnaca, AEK Athens. Are you telling me at Aberdeen they've beaten Real Madrid and drawn with Bayern Munich in European competition? You telling me they can't progress?
Are they playing the team with like Connor Goldson, Balogun, Ross McCausland, or is that?
I think that's Limassol.
Limassol.
I could be wrong.
No, I think you might be right. That might be Limassol. That is an Avengers sort of event settling down.
I'm scared to say Avengers now. We've overcooked the. we've gone too hard on the.
Too hard on that. Right.
Strasbourg as well. We've got Strasbourg at home. Obviously, that's a Chelsea rejects or mini Chelsea.
Right, okay.
But yeah, it'll be a difficult campaign for them. But if they can just tap into those experiences of the UEFA Cup in 2008 at home to Bayern Munich, then who knows what they can do.
Yeah, well, so Bayern Munich, obviously we'll have a couple shout-outs in this, so we'll move on to the next one quickly then. So, behind you on the wall, if we are celebrating 30th anniversaries, we've done a great job by looking that up as its 30th anniversary shirt of Bayern Munich Raith Rovers, which wasn't actually planned out at all. So, the pearl anniversary, I suppose, of a famous game played out between the League Cup winners Raith Rovers and Bayern Munich over 2 legs in the UEFA Cup. First leg was played at Easter Road. Raith unfortunately did lose that game 2-0. So they went out to Germany. Probably not too much optimism, the Raith fans, but they'd enjoyed a sort of stellar European campaign already, off to the Faroe Islands in rounds prior, and they'd got through 2 rounds before that, faced off against the mighty Bayern Munich. Jurgen Klinsmann scored the 2 goals at Easter Road. Raith went out there, and as you'll know, if you've been to Kirkcaldy, you've spoke to a Raith fan before, you've been to Starts Park, no one ever shuts up about it. I'm literally wearing a badge with the scoreboard on it, which reads, famously, Bayern Munich 0, Raith Rovers 1, as the mighty Rovers went in at halftime, 1-0 up, courtesy of a deflected Danny Lennon free kick. Fraser, surely that's got to be the most famous scoreboard in Scottish football history.
It's hard to, I've not seen too many other scoreboard badges
at
a specific time in the match.
43 minutes past 8.
A cynic might call it slightly Tim Pot, but I certainly wouldn't.
Go for it.
Because I'm not a cynic. I think fantastic for the Rovers.
Oh, it's very Tin Pot. We never shut up about it. Apparently players went in at half-time, and the half-time team talk was basically them all just laughing, because they were like, why is this? Well, how have we, this group of boys that were playing, Championship football last season or First Division football last season, gone to Olympic Stadion, scored a free kick against Oliver Kahn, who was playing in his pomp, obviously, at that time.
That was Oliver Kahn's featuring in every.
He has nightmares about Scottish football. Danny Lennon's world-class free kick that took a huge deflection and wrong-footed Oliver Kahn, but that doesn't matter.
You make your own luck.
Obviously, Danny Lennon's seen modelling the shirt for the 30th year anniversary.
Was that before or after he got the Airdrie?
And now he's the Airdrie manager, and we played them on the weekend wearing that kit, so that was a bit weird seeing him stood there. It's like, your gaffer modelled our shirt. But a famous day for Raith Rovers, of course. Unfortunately, lost out in the second half. That man, Jurgen Klinsmann, again.
Who's he? What did he go on to do?
Jurgen Klinsmann?
Yeah.
Managed coach USA.
I'm only kidding on. Although I suppose at that point that would have been the end of his career. Or
Good. I'm
Get into
not too sure
Did he
about.
go to Tottenham? I'm sure he went, because he went to Tottenham with, was it Gary Lineker? I'm not sure.
Anyway,
Around that time.
details.
Anyway,
I think that would have been a bit early, possible. I'm not too sure, but anyway, we're here for the Raith Rovers propaganda of this, and obviously,
exactly.
Raith's one European trip, well, venture, I should say, that season. Got 3 trips out of it. Did pretty well for himself, I'd say. You got to take that.
It's not bad at all. Not bad. And what tournament was that in again?
That was the UEFA Cup, which Bayern Munich ultimately went on to win that year as well. And it was the days of pure knockout games as well. So you'd do straight from the start of the competition, home and away basically. So obviously Raith did pretty well, and that's sort of memories that Raith fans slightly older than me. It was 5 years before I was born, unfortunately, so I missed out on that. Talk about to this day, and I think as a lower league football fan, that's got to be the dream, eh? A trip like that.
Yeah, I think so. There's not too many clubs in this country can speak of that. Experiences such as that. You've not gone with this joke yet. I don't know when to leave it for you at some point, but you did hit me with the text yesterday asking me what's Ayer's best result in Europe.
What is? I was waiting for you to come back and tell me.
I'm still looking, but under the tutelage of Scott Brown, now that we're back firing, it won't be long until we're in the UEFA Conference League.
Did you play some sort of Welsh farmers in the Challenge Cup or anything like that? None of us quay comments.
I don't even know if they have.
They haven't, no.
Manchester United came up and played with Paul Pogba in 2011. I'm sure it was in a pre-season friendly, but that was a Manchester United 11. So,
but that was Raith Rovers sort of moment of glory, of course, being 1-0 up against Bayern Munich. What a story that is to look back on, and fingers crossed. That's all I can hope for is we have one more European trip in my lifetime. I'll take that.
One more. You should be going.
Well, I'm telling
get Dylan Easton and Barry Robson. Barry Robson's got a stellar.
He took down Frankfurt, didn't he? So
well, exactly.
You never know. So anyway, that's Raith Rovers' story. There's a signed Jurgen Klinsmann shirt, one of the pubs down Kirkcaldy High Street. The penny farthing, yeah. So they've got that up there just to sort of rub it in. So go see that every time. It's pretty cool though, because it's good to see. Yeah. I believe also, I don't know if the shot was from that game. Probably this game coming up, I'm going to say, is because Starts Park was redeveloped with the money that's Raith Rovers obviously got from their promotion to the Premiership, winning the Cup, European adventure. They didn't splurge that money on the squad. Built those 2 big stands you saw recently at Starts Park, and to celebrate them opening, Bayern Munich came back to play Raith Rovers in a pre-season friendly a year after that, which Raith Rovers did actually win. So that's quite a cool story.
That is a very good. Yeah. So I didn't know that.
There you go.
Should have led with that.
Well,
stuff the European. You beat Bayern Munich.
Beat Bayern Munich in a pre-season friendly at Starts Park. So you'll never sing that. Right. Do you want to move us on to our next game?
I'm going to move on. I'm going to go down the leagues a wee bit here. I'm going to go with to the Dunhamers.
Queen of the South
in
Europe.
Absolutely, because let's just think of this for a second. Queen of the South in Europe, like
that's crazy.
Kind of a beggar's belief, especially they're currently languishing a wee bit in League
I didn't
One.
even know Europe had heard of Dumfries. Well, discovered it,
Europe heard of it, let me tell you. When the 1,000 fans descended on Copenhagen and the town of Farum, which is I believe where Nordsjælland play, just a little bit north of Copenhagen. Obviously, if we rewind the clock, 2008, First Division side, Gordon Chisholm's Queen of the South, got to the Scottish Cup final. And what a cup final, that's one of the probably earliest memories. I remember Gretna 2006 against Hearts. Can't quite remember 2007 Scottish Cup final.
I thought you were calling Gretna 2006.
No,
Gretna 2008 actually.
So I remember the 2006 Scottish Cup final because it was quite memorable. Gretna had made it, and I remember the 2008 final. It was a scorching hot day. I think it was like 25 degrees or something. And little Queen of the South.
25 degrees scorching, that's a bit.
Oh, in Scotland, in Scottish terms. But Chris Boyd's big pink head on Scottish Cup final day was quite clearly sunburnt. But Rangers against Queen of the South in the Scottish Cup final. And what a game it was. It was 3-2 to Rangers. Queen of the South played fantastically well. They'd already done really well to get to the final. Made it to the final. And obviously, as a result of that, qualified for European competition. So they went into the second qualifying round of the UEFA Cup, and they came up against the Danish side, Nordsjælland. And played at home. Now, this is the devastating thing about this. This is all these rules and restrictions and safety, man. It just ruins the fun and the excitement for...
Safety officers are my least favourite people in a football ground on a Saturday, I'll tell you that. And if any safety officers are listening to this, I'm joking.
No, he is absolutely not. And I'm not joking about this, because imagine UEFA, whatever bigwig at UEFA called up Mr. Queen of the South and said,
Mr. Queen,
sorry guys,
the Queen.
The Queen,
yeah.
The Queen, royalty.
She makes all the decisions at the Queen of the South. Not the Queen of England, but just the Queen.
Yeah,
of the South,
Queen of the South. Yeah. Phoned up wee Queen A and said, I'm really sorry. Well, probably didn't even say sorry because it was so much of a dick, but just said, look, your stadium's not good enough, so you're going to have to play at the Excelsior Stadium.
Excelsior choices as well.
I just totally butchered saying that there, but the Excelsior Stadium in Airdrie. So unfortunately for the Doonhamers, they had to go up.
Trudge up to the Pennycar Stadium.
To the Pennycar Stadium for the home match. But still, I'm sure the 4,000 fans were at that game. Majority of them obviously from Dumfries. And they got off to a terrible start, did Queen of the South,
right,
conceding in the second minute. But they came back firing. 28th minute, big Sean O'Connor with a powerful header to make it 1 each. And then that lasted for about 3 or 4 minutes when Patrice Bernier of Nordsjælland made it 2-1. And that was how the first leg ended. I think Queen of the South, they brought on a wee guy called Stephen Dobby. If you're familiar with him,
yeah.
He came off the bench and there was chances for him, Craig Barr, in the second half. I don't know if onslaught is maybe a little bit of an exaggeration, but they attacked. Certainly probably deserved a goal or two, but they were slightly wasteful in the second half, so they went then to Denmark, 2-1 down. But would you believe, Callum, in the second minute of that game, a 30-yard free kick from Bob Harris put Queen of the South 1-0 up. And this is where my issue with the away goals rule comes in, because imagine you're Queen of the South, you've travelled from Dumfries all the way over to Denmark to see your team play in European competition, score a 30-yard free kick to make it 2 each, and that's not even enough. You're still going out on away goals at that point. But Queen of the South, fans are going wild, almost 1,000 of them. And they had another huge chance in the 35th minute. But Paul Burns blasted over the bar. But still, they went into at half time. It's 2 each, so still there's a massive opportunity for little Queen of the South to progress in Europe. And they pushed and they huffed and they puffed, but unfortunately in the 85th minute conceded. And then again at the death they conceded to make it 2-1 on the night and 4-2 in aggregate. It was Martin Bernberg, whoever you are, whatever you are, doing that to Queen of the South, man. Terrible. Scottish First Division team, and he scored 2 goals in the last 5 minutes. So
tell you what, Martin Bernbank, he's never going to have to buy another pint in Annan though.
Yeah, that's true.
Anytime he's over,
big Tommy Goss will buy him a pint. And they crashed out, unfortunately, 4-2. But a not even a top flight team, Queen of the South. I'm not sure at the time whether they were part time, full time. But imagine just that's any lower league team's sort of dream to see your team scoring in Europe. So they went away, almost 1,000 fans, and they enjoyed themselves so much, but they did so in a way that even the Danish police credited them, said they were a credit to Scotland. And I think the comment was, we hope to welcome back Queen of the South for
That's the most Queen of the South thing I've ever heard.
No, you can't, come on.
If you're going away from a European away trip and the police are like, they better come back. They were so well behaved. They all sat around eating the sandwiches. And is that a good thing?
No, of course it is, because like Scotland fans get praised when they go in. It's not like they're sitting having prawn sandwiches. You know, they're drinking a few babies. You know, they're enjoying themselves, but they're doing it in a fun way. They're not chucking plastic chairs like the English and the Serbians at the Euros. But yeah, I think for the police, the chief of police, whoever it was, to come out and say, yeah, we look forward to welcoming Queen of the South back for another European tie in the future is quite...
not, yeah, a bit ambitious, that.
Wee bit ambitious, but just shows you they had a fantastic time, and then they went back to Scottish First Division football in 2008, 2009. So, it must have been weird to be a Queen of the South fan for that sort of 6-month period. Scottish Cup final followed by a European adventure, then back to the reality of Scottish First Division football. But brilliant, and one of those performances that could have just so often in Scottish football for the smaller teams. Out with the big two that they get so close yet so far. So to score 2 goals in a European tie in Nordsjælland, I'm not sure what their quality was like back then, but particularly now they've developed quite a lot of significant players in European football in recent times.
As have Queen of the South. Lyndon Dykes,
Yeah, well, Lyndon Dykes, Stephen Dobie, Jamie Adams.
The only player that caused chaos for the Spain defenders was Lyndon Dykes, of course. So, brilliant. All I can think about now, Queen of the South fans on their big European away trip. That video that people always play on Twitter when Ross County lose a game. Ross County ultras going back up the road. No. And there's a bunch of Lib Dems on a bus singing a song. That's all I'm thinking about. The very well behaved Queen of the South fans. And
that's the way football should be enjoyed. They can go and shout vitriol at the match and then get a very respectable sing song on the way home in the bus.
Yeah,
discussing politics.
So it should be like a bunch
culture.
Of elderly liberal Democrats, if anyone's wondering how they should behave on an away day. So that's a lovely story to hear, and what a time to be a Queen of the South fan, most certainly. Should move on to another team that had their one and only European adventure in their history.
Hit us, Callum. Hit us.
So another club, a big club as well in Scottish football. Surprisingly, that they never played European football for was Falkirk FC, who had their maiden European campaign in 2009 when they played against Liechtenstein Swiss team FC Vaduz.
Very nice, very nice.
Obviously, Falkirk qualified in a similar way to Queen of the South when they reached a Scottish Cup final the year before. Didn't win the Scottish Cup, of course, but that then got them qualification, which I quite like. A losing cup finalists getting the qualification. They used to always do it, wasn't it? Wigan played European football after getting relegated again.
They won the FA Cup.
Oh, of course, Wigan did win it. Who was I thinking of? I think there was another team that got to final, got relegated. I don't know. There's quite a few teams, English teams like that as well. But anyway, Falkirk qualified. They faced off against Vaduz, who the year before had actually been relegated from the Swiss Premiership, I do believe, as well. So Swiss Championship club, FC Vaduz. Now, they are from Liechtenstein, as I say, of course, but
which we should say is probably got a population less than Falkirk. 35,000 people in Liechtenstein. Falkirk's probably roughly the same.
They've somehow got 7 football clubs there, though. However, that's not enough to have a league. However, the Liechtensteinians, is that the term? Or?
Yeah, let's go with it.
The Liechtensteinians, every year. The Liechtensteiners, every year, they have found the loophole of all loopholes. And it sounds like a great Football Manager save to do as well, something like that. Now I'm talking about it. They have their own special little cup, which grants them qualification. How brilliant is that for the people of Vaduz?
Yeah, it is, actually, yeah.
So, yes, the people of Vaduz, they win this cup every year. They've got this thing on lock. They've won it 58 times, I think, FC Vaduz, all right? It's a cheat code for them, basically, to get free European football. I'm thinking we should have, bring the Fife Cup back. There used to be a Fife Cup every year. This was a big deal in the late 1800s. No one really cares about it anymore, but you know what? Fife, European qualification. Whoever wins it, I'm putting it down now. There's 20 teams in Fife, all right? Give us a shot. Why not? But anyway, Liechtenstein Cup. Vaduz win it. Qualify for Europe. What do they get? A huge trip. They get to travel to Grangemouth for a European tie against the mighty Falkirk FC. Do you know who's in midfield for Falkirk these days?
Scotty
Arfield was playing in that game as well, in his early Falkirk days. Falkirk bring them home for the first leg, and you can never guess what happens. A 1-0 win. So we're doing Pluckiest near misses. That was a win for them. Brilliant goal as well. Flynn, who's still balling out for Arbroath these days.
Yeah.
So that was his Falkirk debut way back when he was a...
debut was in European football?
It was his debut, yeah, on loan.
Wow.
He was on loan, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
Right, he's playing at some level, by the way. One of the most underrated players in the Championship. But that's a story for another day. He's pulling on that European pedigree. Scores a goal against Vaduz. Right, Falkirk fans, take over Liechtenstein. If you go on YouTube to look this up, it's just full of clips of Falkirk fans standing around in the streets as well, singing songs, having a great time. Looks excellent. However, they did unfortunately go on to lose the game 2-0 in extra time as well, which is probably even more gutting. But for Falkirk fans, what a story to tell, and I'm sure they'd love to make that another European tie going ahead in the future.
Yeah, well, they're heading in the right direction, but that is devastating, I think, especially considering, like, you know, with some of the teams we've spoken about, you know, Bayern Munich, Nordsjælland, you know, decent, good teams in FC Vaduz. It's like you come up against a second tier
Swiss team.
You're thinking Falkirk with players like Scotty Arfield, that especially with a 1-0 buffer from the first leg, that you're going to go and just grind out a 0-0, just grind out a 1 each, something like that. So disappointing for Falkirk, but I'm sure memories that will live long and for Falkirk fans. So yeah. Plucky, but
Plucky indeed. But
as we say, didn't quite have the end product that we were hoping for.
Hopefully the FC Vaduz fans enjoyed the trip across as well. It's not every time you get a European trip and you get to go to, you know, see the Kelpies.
Yes.
You know, follow up a night out at Sportsters, perhaps.
Yeah.
Falkirk, you know, Thursday night in Sportsters were probably wild back in 2009, I could only imagine. So, right, we'll move on to have you got one more game for us?
Well, I've actually got like 4. So, I've got screeds of notes here, Callum. I don't want them to go to waste, but I'll go for a tie.
Okay.
I'll go for a tie.
I'll go for it. Very American of you there.
Yeah,
Coach Klinsmann would enjoy that.
What should I call it?
I thought a draw. Were you saying?
No, like a tie, as in like a.
Oh, I thought you were saying it was a tie. The game was a tie.
No. 2 matches.
2 matches, right?
Yeah, it's like an actual tie.
Go for that then. Go for that.
So, we'll go back to 2021. This is.
I remember 2021.
Just about.
I was alive for that. Yeah. Let's go.
It was a sort of weird time for everyone, with fans were kind of in the stadium, kind of not, and it was equally weird for Scottish football fans because one club won 2 of the trophies in Scotland, and it wasn't Celtic and it wasn't Rangers. St Johnstone Football Club, Perth St Johnstone. They won the Scottish Cup, they won the League Cup. So what was their reward? To go into the Europa League qualifying, and they came up against the mighty Galatasaray, which is an absolute mouth-watering clash. And it wasn't the Galatasaray of just now, where you've got players, world superstars. You know, they had decent players, but, you know, it was a time...
The big names of world football have been going to Turkey recently.
Exactly.
Ryan Kent's and John Lundstrom's of the world, so yeah.
Ryan Kent, Victor Osimhen, just those players of that calibre. But back in 2021, Galatasaray had a team that could be got at, and boy did St Johnstone get at them. You've got possibly the best back three in world football ever. Jason Kerr, McCart and Liam Gordon. They were absolutely in their pomp.
Yeah.
With Xander Clark behind them. Xander Clark scoring goals, saving goals, whatever you want. He did it. And then you've got those 3 defenders at the back. They were phenomenal. Ali McCann in the midfield. Just David Witherspoon. Just fantastic. So St Johnstone went over to Turkey. Absolutely no issues whatsoever. Just get on the score sheet before Galatasaray. Big Jason Kerr slotting a penalty home in the second half, following Fernando Muslera. You know Muslera?
Yeah.
Uruguay's goalkeeper.
150 caps for Uruguay, something like that, probably.
Bit of a nutcase. But like a phenomenal goalkeeper. Hugely experienced.
My second favourite Galatasaray goalkeeper of all time.
Who's your first?
Felipe Melo. Do you remember the Brazilian defence midfielder? Winning goal for one game, saved a penalty. Oh, that's one of my favourite stories. Anyway, don't want to interrupt. That was not against St Johnstone, so it doesn't matter.
But St Johnstone, obviously, they go 1-0 up. Chris Kane gets into the box. Fernando Muslera forgets to move his feet. Decides to give Chris Kane a wee hug, takes him down, gets sent off.
That's what Chris Kane's there for.
Exactly. So St Johnstone are absolutely flying. Imagine you're a St Johnstone fan. You've just seen your club win 2 cups. They're now away from home in Europe against Galatasaray, 1-0 up and a man up. It's all going fantastic until about 2 minutes later. And Sasha Bowie, who's now at Bayern Munich, slots the ball in the bottom corner. But fantastic. Any St Johnstone fan, if you're thinking, go away to the atmosphere of Galatasaray Stadium in Turkey to come back with a 1-1 draw, you've put yourself right in the mix. So St Johnstone, fantastic. And then we go into the second leg and it's similar. again for St Johnstone. It's this time at half time. Jason Kerr gets on the end of a cross, assists Chris Kane. I don't know if you watch the highlights. Chris Kane kind of claims it. I don't know if the keeper just actually scoops it. It's obviously not Muslera anymore because he's suspended for that game. Ball gets scooped in to the back of the net. Chris Kane, whether or not he's getting on the score sheet, he's involved, and it's 2 each. And at half time, St Johnstone, half time of the second leg of a knockout tie in the Europa League against Galatasaray, are sitting at 2 each on aggregate. Unfortunately, however, the second half quite didn't go to plan. I think it's just you had Arda Turan coming on for Galatasaray there, so he's getting to the end of his career, but still player that's played for Barcelona and Galatasaray. Opened up a bit of a gap, and towards the end of the match scored a few goals to make it 4-2 on aggregate, and then made it 5-2. And at the death, Sean Rooney went a little mazy run, cut the ball across for Michael Halloran to slot it in and give St Johnstone fans one last wee celebration. But 5-3 on aggregate, having been 2 each on aggregate at half time, 135 minutes into the tie, is just, it's kind of, when you think about that, it's just a team like Galatasaray up against little old St Johnstone. It's fantastic. But that wasn't the end of St Johnstone's European adventure, and they went on to play Lask of Austria in the qualifying round for the the UEFA Conference League. They drew again away from home in the first leg, but then went on to lose 2-0 at home in that. So they crashed out of European competition, but not after having had quite a few goals to celebrate and moments that St Johnstone fans, I'm sure, will remember for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember watching that game in Perth as well, just in the stadium, so busy and packed. It's just what you want to see for clubs like that. It shows the potential. I mean, I think I was on the train going somewhere that day, and the train was so busy because it was a train that was going to Perth. I think I was maybe going back to Kirkcaldy from Edinburgh or something like that, and me and my pal were just stood there by the door, and these two boys were just gone to struck up a conversation with them, and I think they're both Celtic fans, but they lived out towards Perth, and they never support St Johnstone and all that. And obviously, I'm someone that I'd always say support your local team. I'd champion that, of course, or you don't have to support the big clubs or Manchester United or whatever like that. And they were either going to the game or coming back. I can't quite remember. And they were just being like, we've never supported the club, but we're so behind this, and we are gonna start looking into going to more games and stuff like that. And I was like, that's brilliant, because the stadium was packed out with people that I presume don't always go to watch St Johnstone week in, week out. So the atmosphere there and just shows sort of the potential that these clubs do have, and obviously memories, for a lifetime for St Johnstone fans. Yeah,
I mean, I remember watching, I was in a restaurant, I'm trying to think. It was somewhere wet and cold and rainy in Scotland. And we'd nipped into a pub, and it was actually one of the worst burgers I've ever had. But I was sat with my mum and my sister, and I was sat with my phone watching Jason Kerr slot the penalty in Galatasaray. Yeah. And then I remember listening. I think I was actually decorating, doing a bit of painting for this the return leg in Perth. So I remember that I'm not a St Johnstone fan. I have no affiliation with St Johnstone, but I remember those two matches quite vividly, just because of how unusual it was and how plucky it was of St Johnstone to come up against a European, a genuine giant in Galatasaray. So yeah, disappointing that they couldn't just hold on, because going in at half time in the second leg, 2 each, you're thinking there's a real opportunity there if they can keep it tight, even hold on, get to penalties or something, or just nick a. They showed that they could score. So get a set piece, a corner with Jason Kerr, Liam Gordon, McCart, players like that could just get up and cause a bit of havoc. Chris Kane as well, ruffle some feathers, but they just couldn't do it in the end. And the quality of Galatasaray told. But a fantastic European adventure for Perth St Johnstone.
Yep, and we'll finish off, I think, with one more then. Is that all right?
Go for it,
One last one. So we talked about Falkirk earlier on, trying to find their way back to Europe. Well, their manager does have a bit of European pedigree himself. Mr. John McGlynn in 2012, unfortunately, took the decision to leave Raith Rovers, but we couldn't really knock him too much. He was going back to his boyhood club, Heart of Midlothian, which wasn't a particularly successful spell for him. I don't think he was given too much of a fair shot. We've forgiven him since. So one person that never forgave John McGlynn for leaving Raith Rovers was my grandfather. My granddad hated John McGlynn. I never got it. He wasn't a big football fan, but he'd read the 5-3 press every week. So he'd follow Raith, and so he could talk to me about it and all that. John McGlynn, he just thought he was the worst for leaving that first time round. When he came back, I was like, well, look, he's came back now. And he said, don't forgive him for leaving. I was like, you're not even a Raith. My granddad's not been back to see Raith Rovers play since it was like the 1970s or something like that. Because he said it was too busy when he went. So he still had this one thing against John McGlynn. He took that to the grave, is gripe against John McGlynn, unfortunately. So, but yes, John McGlynn went to Hearts from Raith, and obviously it's a bit of a step up for him. Suddenly looks round, he finds himself at Anfield, of all places, up against Brendan Rodgers' Liverpool, which makes me feel pretty old. That Brendan Rodgers was the Liverpool manager in 2012, 13 years ago, a star-studded team. Jay Spearing. Must I go on? Yeah, well, John Joe Shelby.
Yeah. Was Danny Wilson in this Liverpool team, though?
I'm not too sure if he was.
I don't think he would have been, but just...
Don't think so. A very young Raheem Sterling, though. And, of course, we are taking the mick a bit here. You'd have the types of Luis Suarez playing up front. You can't knock that.
Stevie G.
Quality.
Stevie G.
Well, I don't know if he started that one, but he was... Jordan Henderson, centre mid for that game. So Hearts got to Tynecastle and do come out with a 1-0 victory. But narrow, of course. There's no humiliation in that. But
as in Liverpool went up.
Liverpool won 1-0. So no humiliation at Hearts. They're in the tie, but going down to Anfield. You look at what happened to Hearts when they played Tottenham, for example, in Europe. Yeah. It was a bit of a heavy result. Of course, remembered Harry Kane's debut was against Hearts.
Was it?
Yeah. Took a penalty.
Oh, I did not know.
Saved by Jamie McDonald. That was Harry Kane's debut for.
Really, Tottenham. Jamie McDonald must have been about 2 when he did that. Then. Since he's playing for...
I know. He's one to look out for. But anyway, Liverpool FC. So Hearts go there. We get up to the 80th minute. It's still 0-0, which is all you really want as a Hearts fan. You know what? We'll chuck everything this last 10 minutes. And boy, they chucked it. And you know what happened? They scored. They went 1-0 up. David Templeton got the goal in the 85th minute. John McGlynn's men level it up, looking like they're going to take the tie to extra time. Unfortunately, they would go on to lose it. Just a few minutes later, I think it was Luis Suarez got the winning goal. 1-1 on the day. But Hearts, I guess, they did draw at Anfield. Gutting for them. They couldn't hold on to it. But 3 minutes of pure joy.
Yep.
Safe to say for Hearts?
Well, pure elation. I think if you've not seen it, whoever's watching, you should absolutely go on YouTube and just search Hearts fans at Anfield, because
incredible.
The limbs in that after that goal is just insane. Like I think there's just guys. I think there's like a guy that just falls out the crowd.
Yeah,
there's guys. It's just pure elation. It's one of those moments probably where the big teams might never experience, because they're always kind of expecting that they might score, even if they win a World Cup or Champions League. For a team like Hearts to go to a place like Anfield
especially, yeah,
and score a goal like that at a time like that in those circumstances is just it's a feeling that only, I guess, the smaller teams can experience.
Yeah,
and just the pure elation, like, it is absolutely insane. Fans going absolutely wild, and it was, we David Templeton from outside the box, not too bad. And yeah, disappointing for Hearts, because if they just held on, would it have gone to extra time, I think?
It would have gone to extra time, yeah.
So that would have been another opportunity. I think the quality of Liverpool would have told in the extra time anyway. But just what a fantastic effort it was from them to go down to Anfield. Whilst it wasn't the greatest Liverpool team in history, it was still a pretty strong Liverpool team that should have been, our Hearts should have been dead and buried by then. And for David Templeton from outside the box to slot the ball into the goal was fantastic. So yeah, that's an iconic one. I remember watching that one and just thinking, oh my goodness, what is going on here?
Big John McGlynn masterclass there. But quite a few we haven't covered in this, but maybe some more to hopefully come this year. Yeah. Not a single victory, Fraser.
Well, so I know we're not going to cover it, I'm just going to quickly, because I spent so much time watching the highlights. We shout out to Aberdeen against Frankfurt in the Conference League a few years ago. Played them twice in the group stage. they lost 2-1 in match day 1 with a fantastic performance. So, and they conceded from Omar Marmoush and Robin Koch, Robin Koch now playing for Germany. Omar Marmoush, don't really need to say anything about him. So that was a particularly plucky result. But then, in the Fortress of Pataudry, which we've discussed already, in the return fixture, this point Aberdeen were already assured to not qualify. However, playing against a team that contained Mario Götze, no Marmoush in this lineup, but Robin Koch again, and Kevin Trapp in goals. Aberdeen won 2-0 with goals from I think Esther Sockler and Duke. So little shout out to them, and that can be a win.
That's our win. So thank you to Barry Robson. Barry Robson masterclass on the day.
Exactly. Yeah.
Still something he's deploying to these days. So it used to be that magic at Somerset Park. 1-0 win. That was inspired by that, I believe.
Yep.
Right, should we move on to some challenges?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Right, we've got a new one to come up here. It's going to be keep 4, cut 4. So I've got 8 names for you to come up in this one, okay? And it's a new format for us. Completely stole off the internet, but pretty simple. You're going to keep 4 players and you're going to cut 4 of them.
Perfect.
Right.
I'm set up to get absolutely stitched up here, but let's do it.
Right. Keep 4, cut 4, Scottish Championship midfielder edition.
Let's go.
Right, your first name to come up on here is going to be... Who's the first name? First name on here is going to be Ross Doherty of Ross County.
Do I get to hear the other midfielders?
Or
do I need to
I'll reveal
decide
them
now?
Yeah, decide now.
Keep.
Yeah, good pedigree on him. So first name into the keep pile is Ross Doherty. Your second name up is going to be Ben Dempsey.
Keep. Obviously.
Who's
not even...
So is the bar sort of set here?
Yeah. I've got an idea now.
Okay. Third player up, Scott Brown.
Cut.
You're going to cut Scott Brown?
Yeah, sorry, Scott. Do apologise.
One of your pals.
I know.
You've actually met him as well, you know.
That's true. Yeah, and we've walked the same path at Guy Reservoir a few times. But no, I'm gonna cut him if that's okay.
That's okay.
Sorry about that.
Choice. Kyle Turner.
Oh, I'm going a bit front heavy here, but he's a very good player. Not quite hit the form in recent times that he had in the past.
Different type of player as well.
Are these all central midfielders, or are we going to have some...
Roughly. Give or take. I'd say they all are centre mids, but like obviously Ross Doherty's a different type of centre mid to Kyle Turner, but... Cutting Kyle Turner. Okay. So you've got 2 keep and 2 cut.
Yeah.
Keeping this open right now. Cammy Blues. Greenock Morton.
Good player. Not seen enough of him to keep him, so I'm going to cut.
He's a really good player. I like him a lot. I think he's improved. Greenock Morton founded in 1874, in case anyone didn't know. Harry Cochrane.
Oh God, I can't. Good player, but not outstanding. If I'm cutting Kyle Turner, I'm cutting Harry Cochrane. So cut Harry.
So it's going to leave you with 2 keeps to
That's
come.
fine. That's okay.
Right, up next, you've got Jamie Barr-Jonas.
Okay.
So he's
Keep.
He's getting kept. Yeah. How do you feel about
that? In hindsight, I would have definitely kept Kyle Turner.
that? And your final name is Stevie Mallon.
Oh, well, keep. Yeah, I'm happy
Keep
with
him
that.
there.
Yeah. That's good.
So people that can't hear, well, I'm watching, don't see on screen. So you've kept Ben Dempsey, Stevie Mallon, Jamie Barr-Jonas, and Ross Doherty, and you've cut Cammy Blues, Harry Cochrane, Kyle Turner, and Scott Brown. What would you change to that list?
I would definitely keep Kyle Turner. Maybe not keep Jamie Barr-Jonas. Cammy Blues potentially could sneak in there, but no, I'm happy. Stevie Mallon, Ross Doherty, and Ben Dempsey's a very solid 3 for sure. So happy with that.
Scott Brown slander will not be tolerated around here.
Scott Brown, good player, but I like a little bit more. Kyle Turner's got that wee bit more technical ability that I look for.
Okay.
Personally, in my managerial position here on the Joga Bonito couch.
Okay, well, right, we'll move on to the next challenge then.
Thank you very much.
Here on the Joga Bonito couch, yeah. You take this one away.
You ready? I need to think of a name for this one. how am I going to introduce this? So, okay. So, Callum, I will read you the instructions and then I will introduce it for you. So, there have been, by my reckoning, 20 teams in Scotland to have competed in European competition.
Okay, right.
You have 1 minute to name as many as you possibly can.
20?
Okay.
That's
Right,
crazy.
stop thinking.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying 20.
I need to get my stopwatch up. Okay?
How long have I got?
1 minute.
1 minute.
So, Callum, you have 1 minute to name as many Scottish teams that have played in European competition. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Take it away.
All right. So you got the big hitters. You got Celtic, Rangers, Aberdeen, Hearts, Hibs, Kilmarnock, Motherwell,
Yep.
St Johnstone,
Correct.
Dundee United, of course, this season. Of Dundee?
Yep.
Dundee, 10. Falkirk against FC Vaduz.
Correct.
Raith Rovers against Bayern Munich. Dunfermline, quite a bit of history in the 60s.
Yep.
Queen of the South famously played in Europe against Nordsjælland. Is that the right pronunciation there?
Yep.
14. So I've got 6 more.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Who else? I'm
There's
really worried.
a couple of difficult ones here. You've got 10 seconds
Gretna.
left.
Gretna.
Yes.
Gretna.
Come on, you can do it. A couple of lower league ones.
Oh my goodness. Mind blank here. Who else could it even be?
And time is up.
Who have I missed out on?
Well, I've stupidly, you were going so fast, it was hard to keep track. But you have missed out on Livingston.
Livingston?
Livingston
Did not know that.
competed. Inverness Caledonian Thistle, did you say them?
No, I didn't know.
They competed, obviously, Europa
course.
League qualifying round 2,
Forgot
having
about
won
that.
the Scottish Cup. Airdrieonians, Cup Winners' Cup 1993.
Wow.
Partick Thistle in the Intertoto Cup 1995. But also, potentially, they might have competed in European competition.
Oh, and how
They won the League
I
Cup.
missed St Mirren as well, just a couple of years ago.
St Mirren, yes. Anyone else that you missed there? Did you mention St Johnstone?
I did.
So, it's a good effort, but in 1 minute, you didn't quite complete all 20. I think, was it 15 you got?
15, I'll take that.
15 out of 20 in 1 minute. How many did you guys do? I didn't.
Right,
Went a bit rogue there.
What a suck up. Right, one more challenge, all right? So, for this one, we are going to be bringing back the ever popular draft system.
Nice.
And we're going to be drafting the best. What are you doing with that mic? What a show off, eh? Should get you some white gloves and be chucking that off in the air, right? Right, we're going to be drafting the best Scottish Premiership striker possible, building it up with all the different attributes that we need. So we're going to have finishing. Of course, we're going to have finishing. We're going to have left foot. We're going to have right foot. We're going to have work rate. We're going to have IQ. And we're going to have a bit of special X factor in there.
Oh,
All right, okay. So you've got
sprinkling of stardust.
we've got every single striker in the Scottish Premiership to choose from here.
Yep.
We're both going to get equipped with a pen so we don't forget. And who's going to go first?
Hey, I'll let you go first, just because I need to set myself up here.
Oh, you're going to give me the first pick here. Right. There's some sort of a few big hitters on here that you maybe just want to take off it. First pick. Right. I'll introduce it up first. Right. Drafting the ultimate Scottish Premiership striker. The first pick, my finishing, I'm going to take Lawrence Shankland. Just to take him off the board.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair enough. I'm okay with that. Well, I'm not okay with it. I would have definitely picked Shanklin, but it was going to happen, so.
Fraser.
First up, for me, I think I'm going to go finishing and Bojan Miovski.
Interesting you've taken the same category as me to start off with, but with respect, you want to get Miovski off the board as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go rogue with my next pick. Next up, I'm going to take my physicality. Okay. Which I haven't actually put down on my list. But physicality. I'm going to take the physicality of Marcus Dackers.
Oh, that is incredible.
How tall is Marcus Dackers?
6'7", I believe.
My 6'7" striker, Marcus Dackers.
Interesting.
Okay, I've gone rogue.
That is rogue. It's not who I would have jumped in and gone for.
No, it wouldn't be, no.
But I rate it, Callum. I think my left foot, I'm sorry to have to do this, but there's limited kind of options. And what a left foot he's got, I'm going to go Kieran Bowie.
You can have Kieran Bowie. I mean, he's scoring push gas goals.
Exactly.
Unbelievable. 35 yards out, rifling it in.
So is this me to go next?
No, that's me.
Oh, right. Oh.
Okay, so I've got left foot, right foot, work rate, and that X factor to choose from still. Ooh, who do you pick here?
Yeah, this is difficult, actually.
Because you've taken left foot. I'm not going to rush to take that.
Oh, is that so? IQ as well.
IQ.
So we've got six categories. Good, that's good because I was running out of. There's loads of options here actually. I've got a few ideas.
You've got physicality as well.
Which ones? So we've got 7.
Yeah.
Oh, class.
7.
Brilliant.
I'm just trying to be careful with these early picks here. I'm going to take the left foot of Kelechi Iheanacho.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
I was worried you'd take him with someone else, so.
Yeah, that's really fair enough. I actually didn't consider that he had left foot of Iheanacho.
Yeah, I should have wrote down, sorry. I've cheated there.
That's okay, though.
Unintentionally.
Yeah, phenomenal player. He's coming into a bit of form now. I need to get this player, and I need to get him off the board, and I'm going to go work rate for Martin Boyle.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
He puts himself about, and I love him, and he would happily start it for me in any team in Scotland. So, work rate, Martin Boyle.
Go for it. Right. I wasn't meant to take in actually for the left foot. Oh, no. I've messed up there. Damn it.
Who are you going?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Damn it. I was going to take him for IQ.
Interesting. I actually need to come up with some.
Oh, I've messed it up royally. Right. My next pick, I will take the right foot of Claudio Braga. Claudio Braga's right foot. He can hit a ball.
Oh, that's annoying. That is really quite annoying, I have to say. He was going to go down as he was an option for X Factor for me. Difficult. For my X Factor, I'm going to go Robbie Muirhead.
He was going to be my left foot pick.
Yeah.
Just with a barnet like that.
He's just got a little. Okay, he's maybe not quite Iheanacho or Braga, Shankland even. However, Robbie Muirhead, he's got a sprinkling or something, doesn't he? Got a bit of stardust, so
yeah,
he can whip in a free kick from 30 yards in the last minute if he wants, or score a volley from 40, whatever.
He really should have been my left foot pick. I don't know what I was thinking there, because his left foot is through the roof, man. Right, so I've still got X Factor, work rate, and IQ to take here.
Yeah, IQ is difficult.
IQ is difficult here.
IQ is difficult.
Based purely on experience, and experience alone, I don't want to sell myself here because he's such a number 9. But I'll take him anyway. I'm going to take Brian Graham. He's always in the right place at the right time.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Damn.
Let me see this list. Oh. Okay. Options are becoming a wee bit less.
Yeah.
Now,
so you've got right foot, IQ, and physicality.
Yeah. With IQ, I think I might go for. I was looking for Brian Graham because ultimately the man knows what he's doing. I'm going to go with Brian Murray. Simon Murray. Don't know what that is. I'm going to go Simon Murray IQ. Sorry, Callum.
You've taken my next pick.
Yeah. Sorry about that, but you just took my pick. So
Simon Murray is going to be my X Factor.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Love that guy.
Yeah, I'll take him for IQ.
Right, for my X Factor then, I'll have to switch it up here. I will go for Zach Sapsford. I think he's got something about him.
Yep.
The Aussies love him.
Dundee United are flying at the moment, having Dolchek.
Zach Sapsford. Yep.
quite a combination.
So what have you got left?
So I've got right foot and physicality. I'm not buzzing about the options. However, I do like Kevin Nisbet for my right foot. So I'm going to take him.
Yeah, I really did think about him.
I'll add him to my list.
Right, I'm up to my last pick, the easiest pick of them all, work rate. This guy knocks his pan in every single game. Work rate, Gary Oliver.
Love it.
He does nothing but work hard, and I love it. Some player.
Brilliant. So I need to come up with my final pick of physicality, and there's no one really, jumping out there.
There's some good picks in here.
There are.
There's one,
Decent.
and I won't tell you who.
Who's that?
Molly Watkins.
Ah, right, okay.
Not Ollie Watkins, if you will.
I will go with Cleege.
You're going for Cleege? Okay.
Yeah, just maybe not the most physical on there, but can put himself about, and he'll link up nicely with Martin Boyle for me. So
You have missed Mikael Mandron.
oh shit.
Would have been what a body.
Yeah.
Well, fan. I'm a fan. Yeah, you put all these attributes into
Yeah,
Mikael Mandron. You could have had some player. Barney Stewart's got some frame as well.
He does actually.
Some
yeah,
shape.
yeah. That's not a bad shot at all. Kiseni Yenge?
Yeah, depends.
Physical.
Which,
Or Tete, is that Tete?
It could be either. It could be either.
Well,
Yenge's.
Tete then. Maybe I picked Tete.
Tete Yenge would have been. Anyway, so
Yeah, not bad.
run through your final player for anyone that's listening.
So for finishing, I've got Bojan Miovski, left foot Kieran Bowie, right foot Kevin Nisbet, work rate Martin Boyle, IQ Simon Murray, physicality Cleege, and then my X factor Robbie Muirhead.
Yeah, so for me, my X factor is Zach Sapsford. My finishing is Lauren Shankland. Left foot, Kelechi Iheanacho. Right foot, Claudio Braga. Work rate, Gary Oliver. The IQ of Brian Graham. And to finish off, this is all happening in the big 6'7" vessel of Marcus Dackers.
Not bad.
Imagine you had Marcus Dackers, but you had the finishing of Lawrence Shankland, and you hit a ball like Claudio Braga, and he ran around like he was Gary Oliver. I'm pretty happy with that.
I don't know. I just look at the quality of my.
You do have a lot of quality on yours.
Miovski, Bowie, Nisbet, Boyle, Murray, Cleege, Muirhead.
Yeah.
Wow, what a striker that would be.
Play along at home. Let us know who won in the TikTok comments.
Exactly.
Probably a few big snubs in there as well. Just to some people, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Big stamp.
Stamatolopoulos.
Stamatolopoulos.
I just didn't pick
Good
him
player.
just purely because
I didn't want to have to try to say his name. Yeah.
Hadn't worn my tongue up today, so.
Well, and on that bombshell, Fraser, having not warmed his tongue up today, did not want to risk saying that, but that's another episode. The Pearl episode, 30th year anniversary. Raith Rovers almost beating Bayern Munich, beating them for 45 minutes, of course, and 30 episodes of Joga Bonito in the book.
Yeah, now that we've made our Pearl anniversary with the 30th. Callum, will you be here for our Ruby anniversary?
Well, I hope so.
Ruby,
Well, just you.
Ruby episode and for our 40th. Yeah, no, I'm really proud. Emotional, happy, overjoyed to have made 30.
So all words.
It's a shame. Shame it's just the two of us, unfortunately. But we've come a long way. It's been good fun, and that was a good episode.
That was a very, very fun episode.
Cultured episode, yes.
I know. I feel ready for a European trip. Yeah.
Where would you go if you could choose anywhere?
The Olympiastadion, 1995. Danny Levin stands up over a free kick. No,
Yeah, but if you don't have a TARDIS to hand,
I'll go check out Jamie Vardy.
Would you?
Cremonese.
Cremona.
Yes, the home of violins and chat should get banged. Yeah,
Yeah, and Snus and Red Bull probably. And,
these days. Yeah. Yourself?
Where would I go for a football adventure? I think I'd want to go to the Netherlands, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe go and take in a wee bit of Ado Den Haag or something like that.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. That's a right shout.
Or the Koup, actually. I'd love to go. Feyenoord. Go to the Koup. Or obviously to the Amsterdam Arena.
I've done that.
Have you?
I've done the Amsterdam Arena. Yeah.
For tour or match?
For a match. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Who was playing?
Easy Alkmaar.
Oh yeah.
And recently retired, we'll dedicate this episode to him. Tim Krul was in goal.
Oh.
He could do nothing about Davidson Sanchez's unreal bicycle kick that day. Took it all in, but
obviously you hate Sanchez as an Arsenal fan.
Of course, yeah. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yep. But can you imagine? Like, I think the Dutch and the Scots, we're on a level, sort of fan base wise.
Per capita,
leading
the way a lot of the time. So
good football as well. So I would love to take in. I've never been to a game in the Netherlands, so I'd quite like to do that. So I'd probably
Somerset Park for you though. Starts
Yes.
Park for me. Where else would you want to be? Episode
Nowhere.
30, Joga Bonito. I think that wraps it up nicely.
Yep.
So obviously whatever you're up to this weekend, make sure you behave yourself like you're a Queen of the South fan on a European trip.
Yeah,
Eating your sandwiches, singing songs, cleaning up after yourself. The police will love you.
Make
Welcome
sure
back
you
anytime.
a credit to Scotland and Dumfries and Galloway,
Of course.
because every good football fan should be.
Perfect. Right.
Love
Fraser, final words.
Joga Bonito.
It's finito. Goodbye.